Yay! Season 5 is almost here. I'm so excited and I just can't wait to find out what's going to happen. But if anyone posts spoilers, I will hide a sleeping Ursa Minor in your bedroom closet and set your alarm clock to go off in the middle of the night. We have such a great setup for this new season. Discord has come full circle in his Reformation arc. Twilight has a new role as princess. The main six have new powers. Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like about the season 4 finale. As a matter of fact, I don't think anyone liked them. It looks like the 1980s swallowed a bucket of rainbow glitter and vomited it back up all over the main cast. I mean, seriously, who came up with these designs and thought that it was a good idea? Well, I do have an idea about how it might have happened.
Money, money, money. I'm a big corporate executive and I love money. I feel like I'm not making enough money. Send in the toy designer.
Yes, sir?
I want you to design some new My Little Pony toys.
Great. How about a Discord toy? He's a very popular character and we could do some fun things with his design.
Are you crazy? The stupid little girls who buy this garbage aren't interested in an ugly villain toy. They want toys that are pretty and frilly and, I don't know, girly stuff. We need pony toys.
Okay. Well, we could make toys of Big Macintosh and Granny Smith. They're both important supporting characters. Or, we have a toy of Mrs. Cake, but we could also make toys of Mr. Cake and Pound and Pumpkin, and we could offer the family as a set.
What? Those characters all have different body types than the characters we already make toys of.
So?
So different body types mean we need to cast new molds, and casting new molds costs money. Just get me something cheap and frilly.
Here. I took one of our existing toys, added some sparkly highlights to the mane, and covered it in stickers. Is that what you want?
Perfect!
What? No, I wasn't serious about this. Shouldn't we produce less pink frilly toys? It would be beneficial to the children who play with them to have toys that don't enforce gender stereotypes, and I'm sure adult collectors would appreciate show-accurate products.
Oh, be quiet. Send in the animator.
Yes, sir?
This is our new toy. Make animation that shows it off.
But, sir, this design is severely aesthetically flawed. The colors clash, the excessive manes and tails draw attention away from important elements like the character's face and body position, and the image as a whole is so busy that it's overwhelming and doesn't let the viewer's eye settle.
Don't spout that fancy art school nonsense at me. If you wanted people to listen to your opinion, you should have gotten a real degree. Send in the writer.
Yes, sir?
This is our new toy line. Write something to push it in the cartoon.
Well, we have been kicking around an idea for a season-long story arc. Maybe we could incorporate the design into that.
Yeah, plot lines, whatever. Just make sure it sells.
But, sir, the reason this show became a success in the first place was because of its good writing and its willingness to subvert the usual girly stereotypes.
Hey! Who signs your paychecks?
You do.
And don't you trained monkeys forget it. Now go make me money.
Of course, that's just what I think might have happened. And the idea of the rainbow power and changing their appearance isn't bad. It's just those designs. There are a few different versions. The final design that appeared in the show was the worst. The images used in various promotional materials are a bit simpler, and they just recolor the existing designs instead of making all that hair. These designs are probably the best, but they're still way too busy. I assume that we'll see the main six use rainbow power again at some point in the future, and I would be quite happy if the designs were retconned into something a little more aesthetically pleasing. So I got to thinking about how I would make the rainbow forms look better, and I wound up making some images of how I think they could be redesigned. So let's look at the original designs and my versions. For all of these, I simply recolored existing images of the ponies so that they would keep their normal-sized hair. The manes and tails in the rainbow forms are so ridiculously huge that at times you can't even see the ponies' bodies. It looks like a massive hare with feet and a face. The other big change I made is to try and simplify the designs. The forms in the show have cutie marks plastered all over their bodies, legs, and faces. On the face, I reduced it to a single tiny mark on the cheek. On the legs, I got rid of the marks altogether and just used the gradient. To embellish the existing cutie mark on the flank, I made a ring of small marks around it, and I colored it with a gradient in the pony's color scheme. Also, in the original designs, the flying ponies had very bold patterns on their wings. For my versions, I colored the wings with a gradient like Princess Cadence has on her wings. Despite wanting to largely tone down and simplify the designs, I did add in one element. On each pony, I added a mark on their chest, thinking that this would be reminiscent of the necklaces that once held the elements of harmony. For each pony, I set the image of their cutie mark inside the image of the magic star. For Twilight, of course, this means that she has a double star on her chest. Fluttershy might be the design I like best of the originals. I think the colors they chose for her suit her very well. Also, it might be the least busy of the rainbow forms, with fewer excess markings and no extra decorations added to her hair. So I didn't bother to change too much besides the simplifications I just explained. In the image I used to recolor, her mane obscures her chest, so I just added the chest mark on the side so you can see the colors I used for it. Rainbow Dash seems to have presented a problem in creating a rainbow design because she already has a rainbow theme all the time. Instead of adding more streaks to her mane, they made the streaks zigzag like lightning bolts. This is almost painful on the eyes. Looking at the mane, tail, and wings, it's difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins. For my redesign, I decided to embellish her rainbow mane and tail by adding in the tertiary colors. For anyone who doesn't know their color wheel, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, the secondary colors are orange, green, and purple, and the tertiary colors are red, orange, orange, yellow, yellow, green, etc. So basically, her tail is still a rainbow, but it has twice as many streaks making up the rainbow. I can accept that the magical rainbow power would alter their physical appearance. It seems like silly vanity, however, for it to give them hair decorations, so I'm doing away with any extra ribbons or baubles. That aside, the biggest problem with Pinkie Pie's design is that the streaks don't match up with her hair. There are clear lines showing the curl and curve of her mane and tail. The rainbow streaks don't follow those lines, so instead of looking like her hair is streaked, it looks like the bands of color are just sitting on top of her hair rather than being part of it. For my redesign, I tried to make the streaks look more integrated into her mane and tail. I also separated the blue streaks from the yellow and orange to make the colors look a little more scattered and random. And Pinkie Pie is so random. Applejack is the design I changed the most. I just really don't like the colors they chose for her. The pink clashes with her orange coat. The red could work if it were more muted, but being so thick and vivid, it overpowers her base mane and coat colors. For my redesign, I went with shades of green. It matches her eyes, and I think it goes much nicer with her yellow mane. Also, since she's a farmer pony, green seems especially well suited to her. Sweet Celestia, it looks like Rarity's mane is swallowing her head. Anyway, like with Pinkie and Applejack, she got extra hair decorations, these looking like someone took a bedazzler to her hair. I mostly like the colors they chose for her, except for the yellow. I think Rarity is better suited to cooler colors. I think this is my favorite of the redesigns I made. Given her love of beauty and embellishment, Rarity is especially well suited to the transformation. Plus, her diamond cutie mark lent itself well to the design. So there we have it. I tried to follow the ideas of the original designs and modify them instead of creating something entirely different. It's a pretty safe bet that we'll see more of the rainbow power in the future. Speaking of the future, here's to Season 5.